Hope is a new song that I wrote that's out on Spotify today that was written out of concern for humanity and the direction that we were going based on our society and culture today. I'm a nomad. I've grown up in multiple different countries across multiple continents. It's given me a perspective that I've used to write an whole album about being a nomad. I come from a family of nomads. My brother Ali Rizvi has also written a book about being an atheist Muslim, about his unique perspectives of living the nomadic lifestyle. We all grew up in countries that were uncivilized. We always wanted to, and we aspired to be part of a more civilized society. And so we traveled the world in search of that more civilized society, and we've ended up here in Canada. And for me particularly, I'm in the United States. When I say we want to be part of the civilized world, what that really means is a society that's formed on a common set of values and ideals. For example, treating others with respect and dignity, having equality when it comes to gender and your sexual orientation, having the right to vote, having freedom of speech, freedom of thought and expression, freedom of press, commitment to science, a commitment to education. These are all common values that you'd be surprised are not actually common across a lot of the Eastern world.
Go out and vote. Don't take it for granted, even for a single day. Right now, the situation in America isn't even close to what it's like in Pakistan and Saudi Arabia. But if you let it go the way it is right now, right, if you let it go with the politics of division and the politics of hate, you never know where it could end up.
Growing up, I thought that civilized world and those ideals were all embodied within America. So I made my way over here. Now I live in Arizona. And now that I'm here though, I have to say I'm fairly disappointed. And that's why I'm writing songs of hope and for change.
I grew up in Pakistan and in Saudi Arabia. And a lot of people ask, why did you leave Pakistan and Saudi Arabia to come to the West, to come and live in North America? And well, there are a lot of reasons for that.
Where I grew up, people were racist. People saw each other as a color or a creed, and that's how you were defined. You always judged a book by its cover.
Women are subjugated. Women are routinely abused in both Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, and when they come to speak up about it, they're not believed. The default assumption is that they're making it up, that it's a con job. Jews are persecuted. Jews aren't even allowed in Saudi Arabia. There's a virulent anti-Semitism in both of these countries. There is hate against minorities. Any kind of minority religious groups, minority ethnic groups are severe targets of prejudice. Protesters are persecuted. If you disagree and you decide to protest against politicians because you don't agree with what they say, it goes beyond just them saying that protesters should be punched in the face.
I thought America was not like that, but I'm noticing that America is now going on that path by defining people as being black, white, Mexican, or Asian, and pre-labeling them with judgments about what they're like and the kind of activities that they're involved with. That is not the way of a civilized world and a civilized thought process. We are all human. We should see each other as other humans, irrespective of our color, creed, or gender. Where I grew up, the government called the free press the enemy of the people. Sound familiar? Where I grew up, the government actively suppressed the work of scientists for political gain. Sound familiar?
A bunch of bearded lunatics hiding in caves, they know they can't bring down Western civilization, but what they know they can do is they can get people in the West, they can get people in America to compromise on their own values. The moment you start curtailing free speech in the name of security, the moment you start curtailing civil liberties, the moment you start banning people, the moment you start surveilling and persecuting people and targeting your minorities, that's how terrorism works. That's how terrorism works. You compromise on your own values. You compromise on what makes you great in the first place. And what we should be talking about right now is not about what makes America great, but what can make America greater. And terrorism isn't just a bunch of bombs and bodies here and there. Terrorism is about fear. Terrorism is about people using fear to get people to do what they want or to stop people from doing what they don't want.
the Americans that I know actually believe that the country needs to follow these ideals of more civilized societies. But the country itself is going toward the path of becoming uncivilized. Something doesn't add up, and that is exactly why you all need to go out and get your numbers counted by voting.
Voting is a right, it's not a privilege. This is something that we knew growing up in Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, where we had no say. We couldn't choose the people that we wanted to lead us. Over here, we have that. We have that privilege. Go out and exercise it. Do it in the name of the millions and millions and millions of people out there who don't have this privilege.
I'm gonna play a little bit of my song for you. It's a song called Hope. It's about humanity, it's about unity, it's about the fact that we are all cut from the same cloth, and don't let anyone tell you that that's not the case. Enjoy it. Thank you.
From Syria, from Croatia, from Jamaica, from Arabia, from America, from India, from Canada.